Welcome to Rafael Cota's podcast. The issue this podcast is going to be about is illegal migration. Feel welcome to listen and learn a little bit about this topic. Migration is the movement of people from one place to another. Migration can be given due to several reasons like economic, political, or environmental reasons, for example. I've chosen this global issue because I've always thought that people always have reasons to leave their motherland. Everyone has a different story or situation and deserves to be listened and analyzed in order to comprehend their situation in an empathetic way. For the realization of this project, I had to relate these situations from my near environment with the problematic of illegal migration. It was pretty easy because here in Ciudad Juarez, migration is something that is very common. As we are on the border with the United States, many migrant stories are made here, and it is very known that many people come here to cross the border, logically. As I've lived here in my entire life, my point of view was a little bit general, but I can tell that after making a lot of research, comparing my perspectives with other persons by interviewing them, and using cultural expressions to clearly identify the problem, it has changed for good, I think, as I got the opportunity to be more aware of the situations I didn't knew a lot of, and to expand my point of view that maybe could be not as accurate as I would like. I think that when I first had a real personal perspective about this issue was back in 2018, when an immigrant caravan from Honduras arrived Juarez. Many people didn't want them here, and I wondered why in that time. That was the moment where I decided to do a little research on internet so that way I could create my own opinion about it. I searched about the situations in they were living in their country during that time. And it was pretty complicated as the violence rate was higher than ever and the government was not doing anything to stop it. I realized that they were not leaving their country because they wanted to. In fact, they were doing out they were doing it out of necessity and because they wanted a better life for them and their children. Of course, my perspective might be different from the ones from other people because of the way I was raised. Ever since I was a kid, my family has taught me to respect everyone and that nobody is really bad. It's just that everyone's got a different point of view. Once I did complete my research, I interviewed two different people about this topic. I interviewed an international student from Brazil and my teacher from my engineering school. During my first interview, I talked with John, a guy from Brazil, about the issue, and I actually related a lot with his opinion, as he said that people have different reasons to move from their country, and that it is sad that many of them had to do it because of necessity. He told me that in Brazil, this phenomenon was non-existent because of their geographic location and because countries around them were not often good options to migrate. He was not able to relate so closely to the situation as I did because of the illegal migration I live here in Mexico and the situation he lives in Brazil. But besides that, we were able to have a nice chat peacefully and we could learn from each other points of view. And during my second interview, I talked with my engineering teacher about the same issue. Miss Betsa couldn't also relate so closely to the situation because she does not live in the border of the country. But she was aware, a little bit more aware than John, and she had a close idea about the situation with the migrants. We could both relate about that and talk about experiences, ideas, and share perspectives about the issue. I could see that she was indeed an engineer because she could relate the cultural expressions and information I presented to her with with the renewable resources. It was really interesting, to be honest. And after I did a reflection about these two persons, I think my perspective about the topic became richer because I acquired different perspectives from these two persons, and I got the opportunity to share mine with them. They talk about their point of view, and since they were not experts, the interviews were more like an exchange of ideas where we could ask and answer each other's questions in order to get to know more about the topic. I think that in both interviews we both learned a little bit around about our perspectives, sorry, while we were talking. I think learning is just not enough. I mean, like I did during this project, but if I want to make a real change in society about this, I should take action and start it myself. That's what I would like to talk about it with the audience of this podcast. The proposal I would like to furnish is to create a campaign to collect money in order to economically support associations of refugee immigrants here in Ciudad Juarez. The campaign will consist of food sales and raffles students will make in order to collect money. This project will make a change in me as an individual as it will teach me how hard it is to obtain money in order to help others. The realization of this proposal will help me to realize and empathize with the situations illegal immigrants live in every day, and will help me to develop a more magnified view of all of this. Globally, campaigns like this raise awareness between the population about this sector of persons. The campaign will encourage young people to get involved in it, so in that way they can obtain a life-changing experience, opening their point of view. At the same time, they help people that really might need an extra hand. In conclusion, I think that during the creation of this project, I learned about the issue of migration, and I expanded my point of view, judging information with my own criteria, how to take different points, and to have a more multicultural focused point of view. And well, that is all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you want more content like this, share, like, and subscribe, and leave a comment. That's all for now, but I will see you next time. Peace.